The reason we call narcissistic people toxic is because they are, in fact, poisonous to you. This is what a toxic relationship is, by the way. It's a relationship that's poisoning you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Now, how many of you have heard the concept of you will know them by their fruit? It's a biblical concept that actually is telling people to judge others by their fruit. It's the same thing. You will know them by their fruit. That's just a lighter way of saying you ought to be judging people by their fruit. Now, the problem with this biblical principle is that it leaves it as that. It doesn't get much deeper into really helping us understand how to judge people by their fruit. It just says judge people by their fruit. And as a result, I think many of us, myself included, have misunderstood what this means and have paid attention to what the fruit of narcissistic people might look like on the outside. Ooh, they're colorful. They're vibrant. They're juicy. Rather than pay attention to how it's nourishing us on the inside. And so in this message, I want to help us to understand what it really is to judge people by their fruit, so that when you come face to face with narcissistic people in this life, or even in your own toxic family, you'll stop eating and you'll stop partaking and you'll stop bringing into your life their poison and their toxicity. No matter how good they look on the outside, no matter how colorful they're acting, no matter what they're doing, you know that's going to make you sick. Let's talk. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Now, before I do continue, I want to let you know that I'm here to support you. Down in the description box, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. I do take telephone calls as well as video calls through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. So if you're dealing with toxic family members, or perhaps you're in a marriage that's extremely toxic and you've been poisoned and you're not happy and you're dying, head on down there, schedule some time with me. I'd love to work with you to help you to understand just what fruit you've been eating in your life and why you're so sick. Head on down there, schedule some time with me right now. Also, I do have a coaching program. Now, my coaching program is live and in person each and every day. I work out of a diary and a journal that I put together for you. Also, I have brought back Royal We Fellowship. Now, for those of you who are interested in a biblical understanding of narcissism, unlike any biblical understanding you're going to get in Western world churchianity, I assure you, consider joining the Royal We coaching program so that you can be a part of that. I also am going to be working to bring to you instructions on how to become a coach yourself. So if you're interested in what it looks like behind the scenes to be a coach and to help people through narcissistic abuse so that you can further your coaching career, consider joining the Royal We coaching program. Give it a try for a month. I'd love to be able to share my wisdom and insight with you there. Now, let's get into this topic of the fruit of narcissism. Because it's poisonous. Now, narcissists do in fact bear fruit. All people bear fruit, but not all fruit is good. Now, when we look at the biblical reference, the Bible's trying to tell us something very profound here when it says you will know people by their fruit. You need to judge people by their fruit. It's the best analogy that the Bible can offer when it comes to your relationships. But as I said earlier, it stops right there. You will know them by their fruit, period. Judge them by their fruit, period. Now, if it's just left up to us, being that we are visual creatures, we're always paying attention to the outside. So what we can take this as, if we're not careful, is, oh, well, how colorful do they look? How juicy do they look? How vibrant? We're so caught up in the outward appearance of all things, not just fruit, but all things. So we can start picking berries simply because it looks good. But how many of you know that's not how we have a relationship with the fruit we eat? How many of you eat fruit simply because it looks colorful? It looks vibrant. It looks good. It looks juicy. No. Sure. If that's the case, you'd be eating anything off of any bush you come across. And if you want to end up peeing out of every end of your body, be my guest. Go for it. But most of us are smart enough and wise enough to say, ooh, them berries over there on that bush, they look good, but I don't know, right? I've read somewhere that some berries can kill you. So we know better than to look at fruit and want to bring it into our lives simply because it has some outward juicy appeal, simply because it's colorful, simply because it's vibrant. Now, the reason I'm talking about this and making this comparison is because this is how we need to operate in our relationships, folks. This is it. This is the key. Judge people by their fruit does not mean look at what their life looks like. Look at how much money they have. Look at their possessions. Look at the amount of friends they have. That's not what it means when it says to judge people by their fruit. And this is why people get stuck in toxic relationships. This is why people get poisoned. This is why people start to bring narcissists into their mouths. They take a bite and try to digest the narcissistic person to the point of becoming sick, violently ill, possibly even dead. Right? Now, and I've made videos talking about how narcissistically abusive people come into your life, and they do make you sick. They can make you physically sick, autoimmune disorders, various diseases, various illnesses, but also spiritually sick. This is what it happens. It's the equivalent of going and looking at a bush and seeing some colorful berries and saying, ooh, I'll try one of those. Boom. Diarrhea for days. How do you judge fruit? Anybody want to take a guess? We do not judge fruit by its color, its shape, its size, how many friends it has, the bush it's growing on. That's not how we judge the fruit. We judge fruit by what it does inside of our body. The fruit is either nourishing or it's poisonous. I'm going to say this again. The fruit that we eat is either nourishing or it's poisonous. This is how we judge fruit. Likewise, in your relationships and in your family and with your boyfriend and with your girlfriend and with your husband and with your wife, you will judge them. You ought to judge them by the fruit, meaning, is it nourishing you or is it poisoning you? You didn't get all that, huh? You thought it just needed to look juicy on the outside, and that must mean it's good. So many of us are so caught up in the outward appearance, and we take it as though judging people by their fruit means to look at what's glowing on the outside. So many of us are so hung up on that we keep even eating. How many of you are staying in toxic relationships? Although it's poisoning you and killing you on the inside, you can't stop. Why? Because everything on the outside looks good. Your family looks good in the community. Your family looks good because they have money, they have wealth, they have status. Your husband, your wife, they look good because how they dress. Yet, no matter what, every bite you take, you're getting sicker and sicker. It's the same thing as eating a berry off of some bush and some pathway out in the forest. And you say, ooh, that looks pretty. And you eat it. And it gives you the runs. And you're like, well, that can't be. I'm going to try it again. It looks too good to make me sick. It's almost like you don't want to believe it because it looks so good. You don't want to believe that it's poisonous. Now, most of you are shaking your head saying, Kevin, that doesn't happen. We're smarter than that. Obviously, the moment we eat a toxic berry and it gives us diarrhea, we're going to stop eating it. Yes, you should. And the same is true with people. As you bring a toxic person into your life, a narcissistic person, yeah, they may have the looks. They may be juicy on the outside, whatever. I got to stop saying the juicy bit, huh? But as you bring it into your life, your body, your spirit, your mind, your heart is rejecting it. It's rejecting it, trying to flush it out. It flushes it out through things like anxiety, depression, sadness, anger, aggression. You're violent. Your body is violently trying to get rid and expel this poison that you are ingesting as a result of this toxic person. And you're hanging on but it looks good. This is super important for us to understand. Yes, you can judge people by their fruit, but you have to know what this means. We do not judge fruit by its appearance. We judge fruit by its nourishment. Your relationships need to not be judged by their appearance. Your relationships need to be judged by the nourishment. Is your family nourishing you? Is your husband nourishing you? Is your wife nourishing you? How do you know if you're nourished? Well, you're the best version of yourself each and every day. If your family's nourishing you, they're helping you accomplish your dreams, your goals, helping you to reach new heights, cheering you on. That's nourishing. How do you know if your husband or your wife is nourishing you? You wake up every day feeling good, ready to tackle, to take on the world, because your wife just made sure you do. You're up out of bed, ready to face whatever challenge comes your way, because your wife nourished you. Your husband has nourished you. That's how you judge people, by their fruit. It's the nourishment, folks. It's not the looks. So this is what the ancient literature of the Bible has left out for us. That's dangerous territory. I wish that the Bible would have gone deeper into that instead of just saying, you will know them by their fruit. Judge people by their fruit, period. It left it open to interpretation, so people are like, ooh, well, the fruit looks good. If it looks good, it is good. Wrong. Wrong. You will judge people by their fruit based on what the fruit does inside of you. Either your body will allow it to be nourishing because it's nourishing, or your body will reject it, and you'll know your body's rejecting it. The same is true in toxic relationships. You have to let your body tell you, either, dude, do not put this stuff anywhere near me anymore because I am going to reject this. Or, this is good, this is nourishing. Let's keep eating of this fruit. Now, I know this is a deep territory for a lot of people, and I'm curious to know your thoughts down in the comment section below this video. If you would like one-on-one time with me, head on down to the description box where you can schedule one-on-one time. We can talk more about the fruit that you're bringing into your life and how you are judging the fruit of narcissistic people in your life. Also, the Royal We Coaching Program is readily available. If you are interested in learning how to become a coach, or perhaps you're interested in the Royal We Fellowship, or you just want a diary and a journal and begin your healing process, all of it is available for you down in the Royal We Coaching Program. So schedule that. I look forward to seeing you, and I will be back right here on the Royal We. If you're brand new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any future videos. I upload each and every week. And if you don't hit the bell notification, there's no guarantee that YouTube is going to let you know this video even exists, because YouTube is wonky like that. It's going to force feed you Dr. Ramani and Dr. Les Carter, which that's not a bad thing, right? Because they're the experts, and I love you guys. Dr. Ramani, if you ever want to have me on your chat, I'd love to be there with you. Same thing with you, Carter, and Grannon, all of y'all, right? But I'm just telling you, make sure you hit that bell notification so that you don't miss the Royal We. I'll be back.